Everyone, Abdul here, and in this video, I'll be showing you guys a step-by-step build of a new aggregator system that takes all the news articles in a news website and then it summarizes all of that in a spreadsheet, right? So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So basically, the first step that we have to do, how I build these automations is that I start from the end and then walk my way to the first step, right? So, thinking of it, the first step that we have to do is to build the spreadsheet, basically the database that we'll be loading all our data into, so that we can see all the data that we need. Um, then we can walk our way back to how we can get all this data. So I'll just come here to my spreadsheet and then I'll name this news aggregator summary. Okay, news aggregator summary. And then the first data we will need is, I don't know, the dates it was published. And then we will need the link to the article. And then we will need the headline or title of the article. And then we will need, do we need the actual article? We'll just say, yeah, we'll need it. Content, article, article content, and then the summary, right? Because this is going to be a lot, so we should uh, we should have a summary here. So at the end of the day, you can just come to this database and you can sort by the date, and then you can read the headline. You don't have to read everything here. You can just come to the summary and you can read it. Read the summary without reading the whole article. So the first step, we will just add a trigger here, and it's going to be a manual trigger. Then the next step that we have to do is to add the HTTP node. And basically what this node will do is just to scrape the HTML, the raw HTML of the website that we want to scrape. So in this case, let's go with law and crime, right? Let's see. Is there law and crime? Yeah, law and crime.com, control A, control C. Let's use law and crime. So in case you don't know, law and crime is a news website. They post news articles on their website, right? So we will just script this website for the HTML of this page, and then we're going to use it for the next step of the automation. So I'll just test this right here to see. Great. Now, as you can see, we have all this data. This is the raw HTML of the website, right? The next step is for us to find a way to be able to just extract the link, because if you come here, you're going to see that we, okay, I open a new tab. Anyways, you can see that we have different articles here. We have Trump raped for hitting Jack Smith with vindictive and petty security clearance and scrub. We have this article here. We have this article here. All these article are different links to this article, right? So we want to look for a way that we can segregate all these links. We can just get the links without all the HTML noise, right? So for us to do that, we have to use the code node for us to do that, right? So uh, my laptop is speaking up. Okay, so I'll just add the code node, and all I have to do is I have the code right here, and I'll share it with you guys. But all I have to do is just come to this code, copy this code, Control C, and then Control V, right? So we have the input raw HTML, and then we have we are actually sorting these links by the regex. Regex is basically regular expression. So it's going to look for the pattern that the links are separated, and based on that pattern, um, it's going to classify or like separate those links, and then it will return those links to us, right? So if we're just to test this data right here, this is where we'll put our input, right? So I'll just delete this, and then I'll drag this data right here and put it in this place. As you can see, we have this, we don't have any error. Now we test the code. Voila, and we have 40 items. It returned 40 links for us, 40 article links. But what happens is it comes back with duplicates, right? So we're just going to add another branch here to remove duplicates. Okay, now we're just going to test step. Now we have 11 items. Wow, that's a lot of duplicates found. Okay, now that we have the duplicates removed, the next step is going to be for us to get the headline and the URL of these articles. So for us to do that, we are going to put the loop node right here so that we're not going to overwhelm the server while sending the request for us to get the headline and the URL. So I'm just going to get the loop node right here. Loop. Okay, I'll delete this. I'll delete this. Now we have only this. Now I want this loop node to go to a code node because we're going to use a custom code for us to be able to get the headline and the link of the article. So I'll just go to this. Okay. And sorry, I meant code node, not HTTP node. Silly. Code node. Okay, so all I have to do is just grab the code here. I'm going to send the code to you guys, don't worry. I'll have it Control C, Control V, and then, okay, I think I have to, okay, let's test this and see. Cannot read property and define match. 7. Okay, let's remove this. Test. Okay, like I say, it was just referencing the wrong. It was accessing this data with the wrong format. So all I had to do is just come back here, and as you can see, it specified the node HTTP request, but for the other one, it didn't have to because the data was coming directly from that node. So now we have, okay, no, no. It's giving us. Have to remove this. Let's try using this. Okay, so we're just going to test this one more time, and yeah, so we can see that it returned the article title for us, and we'll also be needing the article URL. So for us to do that, I'll just set this right here. So I'll go to the, I'll grab the set node, set field, my bad, and article title, and I'll just rename this headline. Um, can't determine which field. Okay, if I should remove this and okay, so we're just gonna leave it as JSON.article title, and then this is going to get the article URL from the get article URL here, right here, get article URL. We're going to get it from this node. So uh, I'm just gonna test this step. So let's go to the previous nodes. Voila, and we have the headline and the URL. So this is what we want, right? So now that we have this information, the next step that we want to do is to, if you think about it logically, is to scrape the content of the website. So for us to do that, we have two ways, right? Well, we can use code, which is going to be daunting, but why can't we just use a natural language to scrape this using the firecall API? So what I'm going to do right here is just uh, come back at the HTTP node, and this time what we're going to do is to use the firecall API. So for us to do that, I'll just go to firecall.dev. I've actually filmed a short tutorial on how to use this endpoint right here, and it's really useful. So firecall API, not firecall.dev. Um, this. And all I have to do is just type extract without schema, and I'll just copy these extracts without schema. And it's going to give me the core code that I'll just paste into N10. Great. Now all I have to do is just copy this guy right here. Oh, Control C, and it's going to be a post request. And I'll import this, Control V. Great. Now all I have to do is just grab my API key, and then I'll be back with you guys when I okay, so all I have to do, I'll just be with you guys. I'll come back to you guys. Let me just quickly get my API. Okay, now I have my API key. The next thing I have to do is just set the body right here. So I have the body here. I'll just Control C and paste it over here. So basically what this body is that we are passing the, okay, this has to be an expression. Yeah, we have to change this. But basically we have the URL object, and then we have the format that we wanted to return the data, and then we have the prompt right here. We tell it exactly what we wanted to return for us, which is pretty cool, right? So the URL, if you think about it, is stored in this key right here. So we're just gonna drag it and drop it here, and it should work, right? And for the prompt, well, we wanted to extract, we have the headline. We wanted to extract the content of the page. So we'll just tell it, extract the news content slash body of the links provided to you. Make sure it's only the content of the news that you return. Nothing else. Okay. Now we have this. This is great, right? But we're not just going to send all these 11 items all at once. So what we're going to do is to add a loop so that it goes one by one, right? So we add a loop right here. We delete this and we delete this. We want this loop to go over here. And when it's done, we need a set node, and we're going to set our data. Well, first of all, let's see the data it's returning, right? So we're just going to test this step and see what happens. Oh, okay, forgot to loop it over. It's going to take some time, so I'll just pause the video. Okay, great. Looks like that completed. So if we come down here, we have a bunch of data. We have Twitter description, we have the time the article is published and all that. But if you want to look for the actual data you asked the LLM to return to you, it will bring it back to you in this JSON format. So we have the JSON right here, and we ask for the contents, if you remembered, and this is the content. And we also ask for the date. This is the date, February 26th, because we will be using the date in our database, right? So now we can set the field to what we want it to have, right? So we want the, where is it? We want the contents, one, and we want the date, two, all right? Now just test this. All right. Okay. Okay, cool. Now that we have all the 11 items, thinking about it logically, the next step is for us to summarize the content that we've gotten from this firecrawl scraping process, right? So I'm just going to come here and I'll go to advanced AI, I'll go to open AI, and I'll go to messenger model. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is to choose the model, right? And it's going to be, let's go with 4.0. And we're just going to give it the system prompt. And for the system prompt, we'll say, you are an intelligent, helpful assistant goal is to summarize the text provided to you in less than 200 words. And then we'll add a message, and it's going to be the user, and it will just be the content right here. It says no. Okay, looks like we have our summary, and if we go to the schema, we have the summary right here. So the final step is just to grab our Google Sheet node. We're going to append row in Sheets, and we're just going to choose the from here, and then from list we're going to choose Sheet 1. Okay, so we should start with the date. We have the date right here, and then we URL. We can grab the URL. Okay, we have the URL here. Nope. So just to make it easy for us to access the data, all we have to do is just tell the OpenAI node to output everything that we need. So we can just come here and say your output should be in this. We can say always return the headline, article, URL, dates, content, and summary in this formats. And then we go, we have headline, and then we have article, URL, and then we have the date, and then we have content, and then we have summary. And then here we're just going to give it content you should summarize. And then we add another message, which is going to be the user. And what do we have here? We have headline. So headline, this one, right? Should we try this one? No. Yeah, I think when it runs, it's going to do this. We have the headline. Right now, it cannot access it, I think, because it's pinned. But when it runs, it's going to work. So we have the headline. We have the URL. It's going to be from here also. And then we have the dates. this, and then we have the content we've given it, and then the summary. Your summary outputs, and then we're just going to disconnect this for now and run this puppy once more. Okay, so looks like it's done right now. So okay, all I have to do now is just wire this up. And as we can see, we have the date, we have the link, we have the headline, we have the article content, and the summary. So I'm just going to test this step. Okay, we have some errors here. Headline. Let's give it this headline and see. It worked. Okay, let's just remove this for now. And okay, let's check our grade. Looks like it added it all. All right, guys, this is not obviously this is my first walkthrough. This is not the best, but hopefully as time goes on, I'll get better at these things and we'll have a more robust walkthroughs, right? As we go, we learn. I really enjoy doing stuffs like this, but I'm not the best at it yet. So yeah, that's it for now. If you guys have any questions regarding this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll also leave the JSON link here. The next one that we'll be working on is the cold email system. I know a lot of people are interested in such systems for their businesses, especially. So I'm just going to leave this JSON file with this video. If you make it to this point of the video, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below the video or reach out to me. I'll obviously I'll absolutely get back to you and help you as much as I can. That's it for now, guys. See you in the next one.